Okay, I'm going to go live on Facebook, and then I'm going to start recording. You okay?
Double check your internet speed and let me know what network you're on.
Oh, son of a gun! I'm already like.
Okay.
I think you know what? If we're working, we're working.
Okay.
Live on Facebook. Oh, voting. Well, there goes the Daverhood. Happy end of year. Happy New Year soon, but certainly happy end of year for now. Because, well, it's been a year. But what a great way to get rid of 2021 and move into 2022 than with this program. Dave's Gone By. We're usually live on Saturday mornings from 9 until noon or thereabouts. Today, however, tonight, I should say, we've got our special show. And I'm Dave Lefkowitz, by the way. I should mention that. That is my darling and adorable wife making noises. Hello, Joyce. Yeah. Someone looked at you today. We were in the car, and some guy eyeballed you.
And then he almost got backed over by another lady who was backing out.
That's what happens when you look at my wife when I'm not around.
It was a craft lady. She had all kind of bins with like material, like quilting and other sorts of stuff. Probably from that learning annex, like the little learning center.
Yeah.
And she was backing out, and the guy was like walking, looking at me, and he was like, hey!
Oh, yeah. It's in another neighborhood, be like, or making comments.
No, he was saying that to the lady who almost killed him. He was like, hey! He's like, look when you back up.
Let me explain what this show normally is. It's never normal. There's no normal Dave's Gone By, but it's a mix of humor and talk and interviews and culture and fun. This day is just going to be all about fun and talking with friends of the Daverhood. Those are people who have been on this program in the 19 and a half years. So I better lower my my audio on this.
That's me. I have you on YouTube.
I also have me. Oh, good. Oh, I'm on YouTube streaming too. That's the thing. We're trying this out now. I'm hoping our stream is good because we're simultaneously streaming on both YouTube and Facebook. Normally, we just do Facebook. I want to see if this works out so that way we can actually get more viewers and more people watching the live show. But we're here this Friday night. It is New Year's Eve, December 31st, that would be New Year's Eve, 2021, moving into 22, and friends of the Daverhood are revisiting with us this evening. Folks who've been on the show, a lot of them this past year, some from many years past or have been on several times, a little bit of family also, because, this is a personal thing as well as anything else. Yeah, that's what it's going to be all about. It's the Dave's Gone By Facebook, Yo podcast, Yo Programa, Yo the stream. Let's get it started with a little bit of music. I just played this last week. I won't give it too much of an intro, but this is the most appropriate piece of music for this entire year. Oh, yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a local school district.
And I don't have my tambourine,
And they're sort of, it wasn't really a concert for audiences. It was their midterm band recital, shall we say.
I would not call it that.
Listen to the conductor, the excitement, the brio of the countdown, and then what ensues. And that gives you everything about what we felt going out of 2020 into 2021 and what it really turned out just like. Here we go. And don't ask me what song this is. I literally have no idea.
And one, two, ready, go.
Doesn't it? Doesn't that sum up everything you need to know about this past year, ladies and gentlemen? Anywho, I would play more of, no, God help me, I'm not going to play more of that. Well, maybe later. But no, I've got too much else to do because I've got people to let into the neighborhood. I've got so many, I was going to read the list of the guests. I got to let the first guest in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the neighborhood a friend from Colorado. My wife and I lived in Greeley, Colorado for a bunch of years, and we made a very good friend there. He was a teacher at the University of Northern Colorado. He's now a poet and an activist out there in Greeley. His name is Don Pearl, and here he is with his little oyster. Don is connecting to the audio as we speak. He will be our first guest. We have so many guests. I can't even begin to tell you. But Don, let me see if you're unmute so we can hear you. Let me just ask you to unmute. This whole show is just going to be. There we go. Don Pearl, happy almost New Year to you, and please bring your lovely. I'm forgive me for never. Sorry, what's her name?
Patricia.
Your woman friend. What's that?
Patricia.
Patricia, say hello.
Patricia.
Hey, Patricia.
Hi there.
Hey. So tell me something good that happened to you guys this year. We all know the bad for everybody, but
They look great.
Yeah, you look terrific. By the way,
Something really good. We had a great time in Florida. We got both families to meet each other, and we had a pre-Thanksgiving dinner at my sister's house, in which Pat's sister and husband were also there. So it was a meeting of both families for the first time.
Oh,
is that lovely or what?
Well, you guys aren't married. You're really right. You're not.
Right.
Yeah. So, any problems with you guys sort of living in sin a little bit?
We don't live together.
1950, David?
Not unless you want to start something.
No, I certainly don't. No. So Don, you guys actually do look great.
You could marry them. The rabbis would marry them.
Yeah, that's right. Right. We can get Rabbi Saul to marry you whenever you're ready. No pressure. No rush. So tell me what else, do you want to tell? A joke, an anecdote, some other stuff about the year, a poem, anything you want.
I'll tell you a joke, but first of all, I wanted to let you and Joyce know how nice it was to see the two of you at Wendy's commemoration of her mom.
It's always good to see people at funerals.
It's the only
We had
time
only
we'll
heard-
have Don, yeah.
No,
We only
Don
heard
is.
Joyce's voice before.
What happened was a friend who will be on the show later, our friend Wendy Hybe, lost her mom, and
Right.
she had a Zoom memorial funeral thing, and Joyce and I took part. Joyce normally doesn't go on camera when we do this
Right, but
program.
She was on camera then.
So at funerals, she looks so hot. So I bring her out. I drag her to the camera. So tell me a joke, Don Pearl. Yeah.
Okay, I actually have two jokes, but I probably don't have time for both of them. So here's a joke. This is an Italian joke, and it's the end of October. It's election time, and it's in Massachusetts in an Italian neighborhood, and we have an investigative reporter going through the neighborhood, checking to see how people are registered to vote. So he comes upon this family, knocks at the door. This woman comes to the door, and he introduces himself, and he says, "We're taking a poll here. Well, actually, we're doing some investigation as to how you are registered to vote. Are you a registered Democrat?" Have I told you this joke before?
No. Even if you have, how many people do you think watch this program? Come on. Yeah. Okay. So knock.
All right. So he asks her. She introduces herself, Felice, and he says, "So, Miss Felice, are you registered Democrat or registered Republican?" And she says, we voted for the man. We voted for the man. We don't vote for the party. We voted for the man. So he takes his pad out and he says, "Well, then you must be a technocrat." Well, she says, I don't know. Let me ask Genevieve. He's up a stair. She says, Genevieve, are you a technocrat? And he says, "No, I'm taking a shave."
Yeah. And you say you have two jokes, right? No, that was actually cute. That made me smile. That was very fun. Tell one other and
not too PG.
Well, yeah, I thought it could have been much worse.
Yes.
You know, thank goodness nothing rhymes with technocrit. You know, but anywho, let's have the other one quick.
The other joke takes place in sub-Saharan Africa. In the morning, steamy morning, the Lion King wakes up, stretches himself, looks at his glorious image in the pond, and heads on to look at his reign. And he comes across first a giraffe. And he says to the giraffe, "Giraffe, look at you. You are about the most ridiculous creature. You've got this long neck. You've got these silly little horns. They're not worth anything. Look at me. I'm tawny. I'm beautiful. I'm king of the jungle. I have this beautiful mane." The giraffe just sort of shakes his neck and moves on. So does the lion. He continues to roam his neighborhood. And the next creature he comes across is a zebra. And so he looks at the zebra, analyzes the zebra, and he says, "Zebra, you too are beyond ridiculous. You don't know whether you're a horse or a donkey. You've got these stupid little stripes, black and white. You can't make up your race either." And the zebra just shakes his nose and walks on. Then the lion comes across a pond, and there is a frog in the pond. And the lion, says to the frog, "Frog, I've seen ridiculous creatures in my life. You take the cake. You've got these long, slimy legs. You're all green. You sit there in that lily pond in the pond. You're worthless. Look at me. I'm tawny. I'm the king of the jungle." There's this long silence in which nothing is said. And finally, the frog turns to the lion and says, "Fuck you, lion. I've been sick."
Oh, my Lord.
Wasn't expecting that. Did I mention there were children? What? No. Don Pearl, ladies and gentlemen. Don, thank you. Thank you for getting us up to a very funny start.
Thank you very much for inviting for the invitation.
Prospero, Joyce is saying Prospero Año to you and Patricia. Happy, healthy 2022. Good things happening for you in Colorado and just for you guys in general.
Well, for both of you as well.
Actually, and Patricia too. Going to let you go because we have our next guest coming into the dinner. So many people coming in.
Enjoy. Best to you.
Thank you so much. Now, let me see. How do I? No offense. I've got to remove you. Do that. How do I? Oh, there. I'm hoping I'm not removing. Can you remove yourself? Because I'm figuring out how to do this time.
I can go like this.
You do it here.
Oh, you go like this. And then I think I go back up here. Leave. I'm going to leave.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, man. And thank you, Patricia. Thanks. Have a great, great new year. Here in the Daverhood, the Dave's gone by, brand new 831st episode, live on New Year's Eve. We have our next guest in the Daverhood. Already we're running 3 minutes late, but we have him, ladies and gentlemen.
Here. At least no one got electrocuted outside.
That's true. We typical thing. We were scrambling. We were all set. Doing the show outside, it started to rain. And so in the last 10 minutes, we totally rejiggered.
Tony Chamberlain said Naperville?
Say Naperville. I'll get to that. Okay. Remind me Tony Chamberlain said Naperville. But right now we have in the Daverhood, John Pielmeyer, playwright, TV writer. You know, I'm probably best from writing Agnes of God. But let's see, I wrote some other notes for myself here. What else did? Oh, here it is. The Long Island Serial Killer, A Mother's Hunt for Justice. And they still haven't caught me.
New Year's watch, right?
Yeah, indeed. And you've also, you're working on, I just saw on IMDb, you're doing a series now called Hook's Tale. Tell us.
It's actually a play adapted from a novel that I wrote called Hook's Tale. I did that premiered in Houston in the fall, in October. It's a two-person play adapted from my novel Hook's Tale, which is the true story of Captain Hook.
Wait. Are you true in quotes or like no?
Absolutely true.
Oh
no, he tells his own story, which is, of course, summarizing it that he's the hero and Peter Pan is the villain.
Oh, okay. Cool. What gave you the idea to write this novel?
Oh, boy. How do I say this quickly? We were on a cruise in the South Seas, and I know a lot about J.M. Barrie and Peter Pan, and we were hiking on an island off the coast of Chile, and to make a long story very short, I suddenly realized that this island that we were hiking on was the inspiration for Neverland. Neverland was really, in my head, became the model for Neverland, and suddenly became so real for me. And I started thinking about, there was sort of Captain Hook's ship out in the bay, and I started thinking, well, how did it get here? Well, if he's a pirate, who's he pirating? Why doesn't he fly? What's his story? So that sort of started it all.
Yeah.
I think it's Napster.
Or videos. Yeah, it was
Napster.
pirating videos back in the day.
Yeah.
So John Pielmeyer, it's great to see you again. You've been on the show a couple of times playing our quiz and then talking about your life and work. Did you overall have a good, okay, Omicron, Delta, but other than that, how was your year?
No, I had a pretty amazing year. I worked on a lot. I had a couple of workshops. Aside from this production, I had a couple of workshops of other plays of mine. I had a television movie premiere last February, and what I miss, of course, what so many of us miss is the traveling. But yeah, I've traveled a bit. We did do a bit of traveling within the States, and that was great. I saw lots of family, and all of that was good.
Were there plans you were going to make over the next few weeks that you kind of pushed off into like the second half of 22, or you're keeping things still?
Well, yes. Actually, yes. We're going to take a vacation that's not going to be happening now until the autumn. But
that's
okay.
just the year.
It's the way it is.
Well,
out of my control. I can't feel bad about it.
So when people want to see, let's see, there's the Serial Killer Mother's Hunt for Justice. Is there anything else coming up that people can kind of watch or find either on YouTube or Netflix or Amazon or anything where they can watch something you've written and done?
Yeah, well, I think my favorite piece of anything that I wrote for television is The Pillars of the Earth, and I think that's available somewhere on either Amazon or Netflix or something like that. It's an 8-hour mini-series, limited series with some amazing actors, and it was a really joyful production experience for all. So that
it's amazing how viewing habits have changed. You used to tell people, it's an 8-hour miniseries, and block out 2 months. Now it's like, okay, that's an afternoon.
Yes,
people start watching and then to the end. John Pielmeyer, what a delight. And thank you very, very, we've got a whole bunch of guests this whole time.
Wonderful.
But how delightful for you to be stopping. Let's see, actually, we have you can stick around a little bit. I'm because I don't have our 10:15 yet. But
okay. I actually have a poem that I wrote that I can read for you. Quick poem. It's a poem that I wrote for our Christmas card this year, but I think it's very adaptable for the new year.
Please.
It's called A Joyful Wish. Words are weighty, bearing much, evoking memories, moods, and such. Words can soothe and words can sting, but best of all is when words can sing. Christmas, for example, carries hints of joyous making merries. Snow and carols, gifts galore, magi, reindeer, Santa, more than we could ever hope to rhyme. In other words, a joyful time. And after all the world's been through, isn't joy now overdue? The sun still shines, the waters flow, the rain still helps our gardens grow. And though the pessimists might gripe that this is sentimental tripe, I ask you, why assign cliche to every positive foray? Well, negative-ish ballyhoo you annotate with, it's so true. We've problems, sure, that's understood, but look around, there's so much good. So pray this thought's not too anemic. Why not have a joy pandemic? Let's, in these coming holidays, define that P word other ways. An epideme of mirthful noise, a rash of reasons to rejoice, contagion of merry mirth, and furthermore, for what it's worth, let's spread some peace, let's catch some fun. A joyful new year, everyone.
Somewhere I see Rabbi Saul and his pessimism melting, but that was delightful, and that is.
Thank you.
I should have saved you for the end of the show. But that was so lovely. Thank you, John Pielmeyer. Health.
Thank you for having me.
A joyful 2022 to you. Thank you so much, my friend.
You too, and I'll see you hopefully in the next year.
You betcha. You betcha.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
John Peelmeyer, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Dave's Gone By New Year's special, where we bring in our next guest, coming also a writer, was a writer about theater. Now she writes mainly about business, although occasionally she'll sneak in a theater article. Make sure that you're unmuted. Iris Dorbian, so I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go. Just hit the right button. There you go. Hello.
Hello, how are you? I was in Zoom purgatory and I was wondering.
No. Well, we lost you. I was going to let you in, and then you disappeared, which was great because John Pilmeyer read a poem, which was delightful. So that was lovely. So how are you, Iris? You traveled this past year despite everything. Where'd you go?
Yes, I went to Aruba in May, like around Memorial Day, and that was when we all thought that the virus was on the way out.
What virus? Oh, that one. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, so I went to Aruba.
Yeah.
That was my first time I was in the Caribbean, and it was really, really nice. And I got why people like going to the Caribbean. I got it. And it was wonderful. I felt like I was in a spa for about a week. And I actually swam in an ocean, which was it's very unusual for me because I'm used to the sludge infested New Jersey shore.
Aren't we all? Yes.
And also,
did you miss the sludge? When we were swimming, it was nice at first, but then it's like, where's the tin cans? Where's the 6-pack plastic? Where's the feces from New Jersey toilets? Where is
the
it?
landfill?
Yeah.
The dismembered bodies from some mob, murder. So it was really, really lovely. Just swimming in the ocean, no waves. It was just incredible. And walking along the sand that was white. And also, I also went to Spain in September.
My God. Yeah.
And that was really nice. I was originally supposed to go to Spain on March 15th, 2020.
What was your travel agent?
And
lucky that your travel agent got you out, because you couldn't have come back if you'd gone 2 weeks later. They would have left you in Spain for a month.
Barcelona and Madrid, they're nice, but I don't know if I necessarily want to be quarantined indefinitely there.
Right.
And also with Madrid, it's a little hard because, I don't know, were you ever in Madrid?
No, I've never been to Spain. I've been to Aruba, of all things, but not Spain. Yeah.
Yeah. I mostly eat vegetarian, and they're very, very much into meat. Very, very beef driven, carne driven. Carne is Spanish for meat. And that was really a problem. Like the first few days that I was in Madrid, and one time, I was in a tour group and we were on our own, and I was looking desperately for somewhere to eat, and I saw paellas, that's vegetable, but they kept putting like very weird stuff like octopus in paellas and all sorts of very strange meat. And then I thought, no, I can't eat this. So I'm desperate to eat, mind you. I saw Taco Bell. So I went into Taco Bell.
Really? You're in Spain.
Wait.
Yeah, okay.
So I start eating Taco Bell, and then I said, I don't really need to get food poisoning.
Yeah,
my first night in Spain. So I threw it out, and I went across the street to McDonald's, and they had croissants. Oh. So I had a croissant.
Good Lord. Can they make you are you a vegan or vegetarian?
I'm not a vegan. I tried being a vegan.
So they could have made you an egg.
I'm mostly vegetarian, but I do eat fish sometimes.
Oh,
and
paella is octopus is not fish, but paella, that would work. Well, or maybe not.
Well, actually, when we would have our dinners, and they would, they knew that I favored vegetarian cuisine. They would prepare vegetarian paella for me. I mean, I ate it like almost every night of it. There.
I mean, rice. I'm going to let in our next guest because she's been waiting patiently. Don't go away yet, because I want 2 writers to come in here, and also since this is going to work out kind of perfectly, actually. So joining us in the Daverhood, in the Daverhood is former film critic and now current editor and advisor of people how to write their own books. She's also written a bunch of books too. Iris Dorbian, won't you please welcome Jamie Bernard? Jamie Bernard, please welcome Iris Dorbian. Jamie, how are you?
Hi,
You look
Iris.
great.
Hi, Jamie.
I put on makeup for you, Dave.
Well, I put on makeup for you, Iris.
Only for you. Only for you.
Well,
I did a smoky eye, or what I thought might be a smoky eye. I'm not really sure.
yeah, you just do the smoky glass rims.
I have the
That's it.
smoky glasses.
Yeah. So, how was your year, Jamie? But I mean, with COVID. You didn't get COVID, other than you know what. How was your year?
My year. Oh well. Instead of that, all right. I was going to tell a story, but then you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please,
You
then.
but then you sent a message saying you'll get like 2 minutes, maybe 3. So I can't tell that story. It needs air. So instead, I devised a very short trivia contest for you and Iris.
Oh boy. Okay.
Only 2 questions, so you'll be able to. All right, and this is going to make your night and your year.
I'm going to write the answer, or you can call on whoever gets to whatever first. You're the host. You take it.
Prizes. I'm not even going to announce the prizes because you're going to award them, Dave. It's your show.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 1. What did I buy myself for my 65th birthday in August? And you can pick all that apply. A set of porcelain veneers. B, a grand piano. C, a Peloton.
No.
Or D, a home theater system.
Ooh.
I think A and B.
So it can be more than one, you're saying?
It can be more than one.
A and B.
Iris, do you want to go for, or this is for either of us to answer, or what? Or
Well, it's for either. Let's see which one of you does better. Iris has given her answer of A and B.
oh, that's my wife. That was Joyce. That was my wife.
That was Joyce.
Sorry.
That was Joyce. I did not tell Joyce that she was allowed.
Sorry.
I did not see her.
Okay,
face.
I will go.
Okay.
Okay. I would say it's 2. It's C, Peloton, and D, a home theater system.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say everything but the Peloton.
Wow.
You're all sort of wrong and sort of right.
Okay.
I knew the home theater system would throw you there because you figure former film critic, why not? No, and thank you for thinking. One of you thought that I would have porcelain veneers, and not so much. I bought myself a grand piano and a Peloton.
Oh, wow. Are you going to play? Are you going to pedal and play at the same time? Kind of like
Yes, I
a lot
do.
of Rachmaninoff.
Yes, I have thousands of classes, both Beethoven and pedaling, and Tour de France, and Debussy.
Now, can I ask you one favor? Okay, Jamie, and
Is the favor not to continue with my questionnaire?
No, but can I add one more guest, and he can see if he can answer that question?
You're just piling on the guests.
I'm sorry,
I knew I
yeah.
wouldn't get time to tell my big story.
We always
Okay.
run late. Hold on.
Bring in another one.
I'm so
whatever.
sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, because I brought in the wrong person.
It's the wrong guest.
I
Hi, Stephen.
went a little early. I'm sorry. Let's bring in 5 guests, and we're all going to try and answer. I'm such a moron. Okay. By the way, welcome. We've got Iris Dorbian here. We also have Jamie Bernard. We have my old friend from high school, junior high school and high school, Stephen Fish, and Steve the Whistler Herbst. So we've got a whole gathering here.
Why are you the whistler?
Steve? Oh, Steve.
can't hear
Steve.
you.
Both
You're not
Stevens,
whistling at all.
unmute, please. Sorry, unmute. I accidentally muted you, Stephen Fish. Okay, Steve Herbst, why are you the whistler?
Why am I the whistler? Well, okay. First of all, I am an international grand champion whistler, having competed around the world. Secondly, I was named to the Whistlers Hall of Fame.
And did you know Whistler's mother? I didn't know.
I was going to make a mother.
I'm very
whistler.
sorry.
I'll tell you, funny anecdote.
Please.
I've been interviewed a whole lot of times, at least in past years, and sometimes they would want to interview my mother because she was Whistler's mother. And the funny thing is that she told the interviewers that she had no idea that I was whistling all the years that I had been practicing and rehearsing. because I never thought it would be of interest to anybody else. I'd whistle walking to school, and I'd whistle walking home, and I'd get home, I'd go into my bedroom, close the door, and whistle, practicing mimicking all the musical instruments in Peter and the Wolf by Tchaikovsky, which is how I developed the 3-octave range, simulating flutes, oboes, piccolos.
Meanwhile, you are the only teenage boy who goes home, shuts the door, and does that. Every other teenage boy is playing with a very different flute, my friend. But anywho.
Yes, I was actually a lot younger than that. I started doing that at age 7.
Oh, well, we all started.
When what you're suggesting was not yet of interest.
Well, Steve, that is fascinating, and I want to hear you whistle. But I have another trivia question to ask before that, and the other Stephen just has to wait, bide his time. Can't say anything, not allowed. We don't even know why you're here, but that's okay, because I have a trivia question for everyone to answer, and it doesn't matter that you don't know who I am.
It's Jamie Bernard.
Answer it anyway.
Well, I can see her name on the screen,
and you're not going to say, "Wow, that's a famous name."
Well, she used to write for the Daily News and the New York Post. Okay, I should have given her a better intro. I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah, that's just fine. I'm gonna torture you now with my second trivia question. Which celebrity did I FedEx a personal letter to this year to apologize for something stupid I did about 10 years ago? A, George Clooney. B, Matthew McConaughey. C, The Rock. Or D, Gilbert Gottfried. Anyone can answer.
Please let it be Gilbert. I'm just going to say Gilbert, even though that can't be. But I'm going to say Gilbert.
Anyone else want to participate in my fascinating quiz? Yes.
I'm going to say Clooney.
You are correct.
Okay.
You are correct. You win something that Dave will give you.
Oh my God! Exciting.
Here's a red ribbon. So, Jamie, tell us quickly the impetus.
I can't tell you quickly. That was the story I would have told you tonight.
Well, come on, how could you piss off?
Yes, there's lots of Steves. There's Stevens and there's Steves. They whistle. They do interesting things. And so I don't have time to tell my George Clooney story.
Oh, all right. We'll have to have you back on the quiz, and you'll tell us what you wrote about him that you felt bad about 10 years later.
It wasn't what I wrote about. It was in person at a dinner.
Good. Would you spill something? Just tell it quickly. What, spill something on him? Did you kick him accidentally in a bad place?
All right, I'll do the Evelyn Wood.
Yes.
Speed, because it's a story. It's one of those shaggy dog stories. I'm not going to make it shaggy. I'm going to make it really tight.
Did you kill
about
shaggy
10 years
dog?
ago?
No. Okay.
I was invited to the New York Film Critics Circle dinner. I used to be chairman of the chair of them. And they invited me back for the 75th anniversary dinner because I had been so important. Steve, that's Stephen, very important, name recognized. Okay, I'll let that go. And so the chairman surprised me by introducing me from the podium, and people applauded. So I stood up to accept the applause. Meanwhile, at the next table, George Clooney leaned over to tell me something. And he looked very earnest. He was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't hear over the applause. So I was like, what? And he said it again. He leaned closer. And I am, you probably don't know this, but I'm socially inept. And I was like, which one do I turn my back on? The applauding audience or George Clooney? And I didn't know what to do. And I did what I do when I feel like I'm in a spot and I'm socially inept. I did something incredibly stupid and horrible. I sat down, I turned to George, I patted my knee as if he should sit on my lap, and I made a lewd face at him. And then the evening began, and it was too late to go over to his table. And I have suffered ever since then. Wow. Suffered.
How did you get, very quickly, because I want to talk to Stephen Fish and a little bit more to Stephen Harris.
Oh, sure, get the Stephen.
But how did you know did you send it to his agent? I mean, you FedExed an apology?
No, because if I sent it to his agent, he would never get it. They think it's a fan letter. But a friend of mine found out his address. He has a Manhattan place.
Oh, okay.
And so I FedExed it to Manhattan. And I believe that Amal is out and I'm in. That's what I think.
There you go. No, or he could be sweet on one of our other guests here, Stephen Fish, my friend from high school. Hello, Stephen Fish. How was your everybody's year was terrible, but what was good about your year? Oh, Stephen, you're unmuted. How come we can't hear you, Stephen?
He doesn't have the volume connected, probably.
Uh-oh.
Have him go out and in.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right, hold.
He's stunned by my George Clooney story.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
See?
Stephen Fish, tell us something lovely that happened to you in this difficult year.
Oh, I don't hear you.
Okay, we may have to. No, Stephen.
We don't hear you.
I assume he's going to show also his life partner who has been undergoing some health stuff, but who made it through the year, which is wonderful.
Why don't you?
Yeah, I'll talk to Steve. Meanwhile, Stephen, I cannot hear you at all.
Have him leave and come back.
Yeah, Stephen, we can try and get you back later with some other people. We have a couple of minutes still to talk with, though, Steve the Whistler. Herbst, Steve, how was your year?
Well, my year has been pretty good. One of the main highlights, as you know, was I appeared on To Tell the Truth, and that aired July 18th, and that was a lot of fun. They flew me out to Hollywood, and I was in two segments. You know, the first segment where I was an imposter, and then the second segment where I was myself. And you can see that segment, the one on my website, stevethewhistler.com. And this month, I was a featured guest artist at a concert at the Episcopal Cathedral of the Good Shepherd on 31st Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. And I got to whistle several numbers, including Nessun Dorma, Claire de Lune.
All right, you know what's coming next, Steve, and Jamie even asked for it. If you could just give us a little even Nessun Dorma, the high note, or something, just whichever.
Just something? Okay.
Something.
This is just something that kind of demonstrates range, right?
Whoa. He's still whistling. It's just only dogs are hearing it now. That was wonderful. Thank you, Steve.
You know, so I did this concert where I was the guest artist with this Glee Club. I did 4 numbers solo, including Claire de Lune and Nessun Dorma, and the Christmas song, you know, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, and another one. And I did 2 numbers with their Glee Club, the introduction and finale of Bring Him Home from Les Mis.
Oh, yeah.
And another number called River Song.
Can I ask you to just do the beginning of Claire de Lune?
Sure. Hold on a second, and I will.
Clear the room. He'll do Claire de Lune. Here we go.
Are you ready?
Steve.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. Wow, that was actually quite lovely, man. That was
You know, I brought some trivia questions and jokes for you tonight.
I can maybe bring you back later in the program to do them because now we're coming up on time where I want to bring on our next guest. I haven't even talked to Stephen Fish. Stephen, can I even hear you? Okay. Oh, Stephen.
You want a quick trivia question, Dave?
Let me bring in. You know what? I don't know if I can bring. Maybe I can bring 6 people. Hold on. Let me bring one more person.
12 people.
Can we really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So let me admit one more guest into the Daverhood.
You can have, I think 50 people.
He is an actor. He's also got a new book out. It's called Solo Transformation on Stage. It's all about solo, the kind of stuff that I have done on stage. Hello, Ronald Rand is joining us.
Yes.
Hello,
yes,
Ronald.
I'm
You're
here.
on with a whole bunch of people here. We've got goodbye, Ronald Rand.
Ronald Rand.
He'll come back. So ask
And Little Santa.
trivia question, Steve, please. Oh, wait, he's coming back. Here we go.
Ask Stephen, your friend, to leave the link and come back.
Yeah,
again and
I'm-
click use computer audio.
Yeah, Stephen Fish.
Yeah.
Can you just say something, Stephen Fish? All right, Stephen, why don't you try and leave the room? Leave and just come back. I promise I will let you back in. But I literally cannot hear a word you're saying. You're just mute. So check your audio input, and we'll get back to you. Meanwhile, we got Ronald Rand back. Ronald, and hello.
Yes.
Hi, Ronald. How are you?
Santa Claus.
I'm good. I'm good. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff.
Right, and Kwanzaa and Festivus as well. You're such a joyful person.
Yes.
And I probably asked you this 2 weeks ago when you were on the show. But what was the best thing that happened to you this year, in this terrible year?
Talking to you, David, right now.
Well, you mean it wasn't talking to Rabbi Saul Solomon 2 weeks ago?
Oh,
well,
yes,
he'll be
yes,
offended.
absolutely. That was even better. Yes, it's so true.
So
Well, every moment is great, to tell you the truth.
now, do you have an anecdote, or I asked people who were guests on the show to either have an anecdote or a joke or a trivia question or something. What would you like to share for this show?
Well, I would love to try to stump the host.
Everybody's doing the
If
trivia.
that would be
But instead of just me, let's bring this out to the whole group. We've got Iris Dorbian, we have
okay.
Jamie
That
Bernard,
sounds good.
and Steve Herbst. So let's have the
Okay.
question, and we'll all come. We'll all think of answers, and we'll see who gets it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, it's which one of these is false? So every one of us, or some of us, have heard of this fellow named Stanislavski. And let's see if you really know who he is and what he did. So
Plumber.
which one of these is false? A, he was an actor and performed in the original productions of Anton Chekhov's plays Uncle Vanya, The Seagull, The Three Sisters, and The Cherry Orchard. B, he had a golden thread factory, and the gold material the company made adorned ladies' dresses and men's uniforms at royal receptions and balls. C, he was a Russian director and co-founder of the Moscow Art Theater. D, when he came to America with the Moscow Art Theater, he co-founded the Actors Studio with Ilya Kazan, Cheryl Crawford, and Robert Lewis. There you go.
Well, unless this is a trick question, which I won't put past you, Ronald Rand. I think I know. I think I get the. Well, I use
They can put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, we can all. How about we all chat the answer so that we don't step on each
Oh.
other's whatevers? That's actually a good idea.
Okay.
Chat. So Iris, Jamie, Steve Herbst. Let's. I'm going to say the false one. I'll bet I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys all.
I missed the first part because the audio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I don't know. I mean, I missed the first part of the question. I got some of the.
It was about his being like in the very first productions of the Cherry Orchard. Ronald, read it quick again. Yeah.
And one of them is false.
One of those four things is false, is not true.
Yeah. One of them is false, that A, he was an actor and performed in the original productions of Chekhov plays Uncle Vanya, The Seagull, Three Sisters, and The Cherry Orchard. And B, he had a golden thread factory, and the gold material the company made adorned ladies' dresses and men's uniforms at royal receptions and balls. C, he was a Russian director and co-founder of the Moscow Art Theater. And D, when he came to America with the Moscow Art Theater, he co-founded the Actors Studio with Ilya Kazan, Cheryl Crawford, and Robert Lewis. So one of them is false.
Okay. And we're waiting on both Steve and Iris to chat. Type in the chat.
Oh, type in the chat.
Yeah. Jamie and I have already given our answers.
Oh.
And I'm sure I've been tricked. And if I have,
well, it's so great to see you all.
Oh, you too,
Happy
man.
New Year.
You too, man. Iris. I think you may have it, Iris. Everybody else said the obvious, the Golden Thread Factory one. Iris is the one who's saying he may have come to America and co-founded the Actors Studio. Ronald Rand, author and actor. What is the answer?
Yes. Well, the answer is, of course, it would have to be D, because he did come to America with the Moscow Art Theater in the 1920s. But the Actors Studio was founded in the 1950s. And of course, it was before the group theater and everybody.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm not feeling good about New Year's Eve and the New Year.
Do I get prize?
So, Ronald, you made me feel like an idiot tonight. Thank you very much.
Brought me down. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Now, let me ask you, Iris, Jamie, Steve, and Ronald, can you hang a little more? Do anybody need to go? Because I want to bring in more people, and we've got a fairly well-known person who's going to be joining us, like, right now. Are you cool with sticking around?
I can stay.
Like the new
I can stay for a little while yet.
Okay, well, you have a trivia question for us too, right, Steve? Well,
I got a bunch of them.
Great. Hold on. Let me bring in our next guest joining the Daverhood. He is a Bistro Award winner, an Ovation Award winner, a Drama Desk nominee as well. He was in Forever Plaid, Hello Mugga, Hello Fada off Broadway, and the national tour of Wicked in recent times. Please welcome back to the Daverhood, the one, the only, and the West Coastal Jason Gra. Hey, Jason.
Dave, how the hell are you?
I am good. I've split myself into 5 people because my schizophrenia has finally reached its peak. Well, we've been making it more. This is more of a party line. Let me explain. We've got other guests in the Daverhood who are sticking around and talking with each other and playing. We've got Iris Dorbian, who is a former theater critic and now a business writer. We've got Jamie Bernard, former film critic of the New York Post and Daily News, and now someone who helps other people write books. She's also gotten books of her own. Steve Herbst, the award-winning professional whistler. Yes, and Ronald Rand, actor and the creator of a magazine, a newspaper I'm sure you read, called The Soul of the American Actor, which has been around for like a couple of decades now. So,
wow,
welcome.
Wow, it's a who's who.
It really is, yeah. And then there's me. Who the hell's he? So, Jason.
Hi, buddy. Happy New Year to you. Cheers.
L'chaim. How was your year, Jason? I mean, the good things about your year. We all know it's been a crud year, but what was good stuff that happened to you?
Well, it forced me to stop and, smell the roses. I kind of enjoyed it. I as you had said, I toured the country with Wicked for a year and a half, and that I left about 2 months before the lockdown happened. And my big dream was to stay at home and be with my husband and my dog and live in my house in Los Angeles, which I don't do very often. So I got that wish.
Well, that's the thing. Are you now like jonesing for 2022. I mean, who knew about Omicron? But like you were ready to get back out there, and now you've still got to wait a couple more weeks to, or are you planning?
Yeah, I am jonesing, Dave. Just seeing your face, I'm jonesing. But I feel like
Thank you.
I am like, half of me is so excited to get back to work, and I've got jobs coming up in the new year, which is great. And I've been working sporadically, but there's been no momentum. Like, I've had a really good job and then nothing for weeks. And I'm not really used to that, but I've enjoyed kind of being a slob and
You're
hanging
never
around my house.
you are
And
never a slob.
I'm a slob. I'm Unitarian, so I'm just a slob.
Slob,
not a
right? If you're
schlub.
Jewish, you'd be a slob. Yeah. What is like in the next couple of months though? What are some gigs that you have lined up, God willing, that you can do?
Well, God willing, and
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing them. I'm doing a comedy tonight concert that I've done a few times, but this time I'm doing it with Christine Bianco and Ali Mozzie, and we're singing with the Fort Myers Symphony. And hopefully that's going to be the beginning of a lot. I do a lot of symphony work, but all of them curtailed, of course.
Yeah.
So I do a Jerry Herman concert with Debbie Gravitt and Clea Blackhurst and Ron Raines and Scott Coulter.
Ron Raines.
He's
I'm-
horrible.
I've got to tell everybody the reason I know Jason, perhaps better than some, other celebrities, if you will, is that I was running the box office when Olympus on My Mind played off Broadway at the Actors Playhouse with Ron Raines, Emily Zacharias. It was before Faith Prince was there,
Big Prince. Yeah.
and was you, and Louis
Peggy
J.
Hewitt.
Stadler. Yeah.
And Louis J. Stadler.
Right, and we had him on the show earlier this year, and he was great to see again too.
Yeah, he was great. I played his twin. So Ron and I have stayed in close touch through the years. So hopefully we get to go to Florida to do this concert. I'm coming to New York to do a couple shows at Birdland in March to do my show, Greatest Hits, and hopefully that. Thank you.
I just got that Jason Greatest Hits.
Thank you for laughing, Jim.
Okay, so one thing I do want to do is, since I've got you all here, and we've got Steve Herbst has taken the time to prepare a trivia question or two for me, but it'll be for all of us. So what I will ask, though, he'll ask the question, and then we'll all type in chat, if you don't mind, so that way we don't step on each other's answers or something. That might work. We'll see.
By the way, I did not know that I was supposed to provide like A, B, C, D options.
No, you don't. You
I
can
just have the
do
questions.
whatever you want. They're doing it the
Okay.
way we usually do our trivia quiz.
You
That's
have
okay,
to whistle
so
your question.
The first question is, when did partiers first celebrate New Year's Eve in Times Square? What year did partiers first celebrate New Year's Eve in Times Square?
That's a good question.
I've been doing terribly on these. Good one, Jason.
Nicely done.
That was very fun. That was very funny. I got a kick out of
Match
that.
game now. All right, here we go.
That's funny, Jason. That is funny.
Well,
Okay, you ready for the
that was
answer?
Jamie. Yeah. Wait, have we all? Iris? Pick a year. Any year. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, let me read all the answers, and then Steve will enlighten us. I said 1924. Jason went all the way back to 1876. Jamie gave us the year they invented Depends, which is brilliant.
That's right. That's smart.
I should just answer funny things because I'm not going to get these right. Iris did 1920, and Ronald Rand did 1903. Steve, the Whistler Herbst, when did people do this crazy thing of standing out in Times Square?
1904. Oh,
Wow.
Ronald, how
I
did
was
you?
so close.
Very
I was
close.
Very close, Ronald.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Next question.
Yeah,
And
please.
the reason I find this question particularly fun is because I made an appearance on the Tonight Show, not the Tonight Show, the Today Show, on New Year's Eve, and they had me go all the way up. No, it was Good Morning America. I was taken all the way up to the rooftop in Times Square, and I was standing in front of the Waterford Crystal Ball, on New Year's Eve morning.
Okay.
And I was standing there with the weather girl, and she was delivering weather reports, and I was whistling weather-related songs like "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow." You know.
Mm-hmm.
So my question now is, when did the Waterford Crystal Times Square New Year's Eve Ball make its debut? What year?
Why would we know that?
We have shares in Waterford, of course.
That's the worst.
I don't. You're right. I don't think.
We want to go out and buy shares.
Let's not even bother. I'm just going to throw out a year. 1957. Anybody? You just forget the.
I think Dave's right. I'm going to go with 57.
Yeah.
Okay, 57.
Yeah, I'll go with
Okay.
57 too.
Okay. What's
So,
the answer?
Bear in mind, we're talking not when the first.
Oh hell no! No, of course not. Not when the first. Yeah.
I think it was the year they invented Depends.
The Waterford Crystal Ball made its debut in 1999.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Now,
Yeah.
The first New Year's Eve ball,
Yeah.
what year did that drop, is a different question.
For another night.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let me do some rejiggering
This
here.
is the best game. I just would like to thank Dave.
By the way, Dave, as you suggested,
Yes.
I also brought a couple of jokes.
Well, wait. Hold on. We have other guests. So
All right.
I tell you what, can I ask
Just letting you know I have them. Fabulous.
This is
I've got
the
to bring
part where
on.
Dave has to kick some of us off.
You kind of do, but
I know.
I'm Steve.
It's
Maybe
okay.
try getting back on late. But Steve Lewis, Sir Herbst. First of all, let me wish you a most very, very happy and delightful New Year and a healthy New Year too. I'm gonna let you go because I've got to bring in. There's like literally every 5 minutes there's a new guest. But thank you, Steve, and maybe see you later in the program. Catch you. If you got jokes, maybe after like the midnight hour, try coming back if you're still awake. So I'd love to see you. Okay.
Well, I'll still be awake.
Okay.
Bye,
Let's
Steve.
Steve.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
the
Steve.
question.
Okay, Jason, can you hang a little bit? Can you let's see, Jamie, you're still good? You're
I've worn out my welcome, and I don't even whistle.
Oh well.
So I'm gonna go, drink myself into it. No, I'm gonna go do intellectual things and play my grand piano.
Oh, do it. Or do you want to maybe come back and can we hear it from the other room? Is it close enough if you want to play?
Oh, now you're desperate to have me. Before it was like you only get 5 minutes. And I was like, please play the piano at least.
No, I mean maybe a company.
What kind of grand piano is it?
I got all right, so now I'm blank. It's a Yamaha, but it's not a baby grand. It's not a concert grand, but it's just short of 7 feet.
Nice.
It's beautiful. It has the like a honey tone. I just love it.
How beautiful. What do you enjoy playing the most?
I've been working on a Brahms Rhapsody, and I'm doing the Pathétique. Not well, but when I play on this piano, I'm like, I sound pretty good to myself.
When I play it, it's pathetic. I'll tell you that. You knew that was coming. I'm sorry. That was
Beethoven's Pathétique?
Yes.
As
I
opposed
played
to
that for my 10th grade.
Not Klein's Pathétique.
I played that for my 10th grade piano recital.
Oh, so you could play it in 10th grade. Fine.
I could, but I can't.
I'm
play.
just feeling lower and lower in this group here in the neighborhood.
No, I can guarantee you play it better than I do now. I can't play it anymore.
Yeah, but nobody sings like Jason Gra. He's a marvelous. Maybe you can. I don't know if we can work out the piano accompaniment with Jason singing.
Oh, I want to hear him
on the
sing.
spot. Oh.
I don't want to go until he sings.
Okay, tell
Go
you
to my
what.
YouTube channel.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Jason Gra, you has a lot. Jason, don't go away. Let me just welcome some other friends from Colorado.
Wait, I'm
because at
gonna
11
go.
o'clock we also.
Jamie, nice to meet you.
Oh,
Nice
do
to
you have to go,
meet you
Jason?
all.
Okay.
Welcome to Wendy Hybe and Fred Cleaver from Colorado, and you're unmuted. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Dave.
Oh,
It's snowing.
oh, is it snow? Well, thank God, because the fires in Boulder are burning Colorado pieces. So you guys are far away.
Right.
Do you see that? Are you inhaling it?
No, we're not getting the smoke here.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're not. It's horrible.
No, it's about an hour away from us.
Oh, good. Thank God. Now, Wendy, you've had a hell of a year, but you look Great. How are
Oh, I
you?
had two brain surgeries and a stimulator implant. Yeah, I got some
I could
holes
use a
drilled in my
stimulator
head.
implant. I could use one of those, but no, that's a whole different thing. But you sound good. Have you been feeling like even better than when we last saw you at? Well, literally, last time we saw them on Zoom was the memorial for her mom who died a few weeks ago. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Well, how you
Well,
doing?
my programming needs to be changed a
So
little bit
for all
more.
of
So
us.
I'm a work in progress, shall we say?
Cool.
But I've got a trivia question for you.
Let's
I've got a trivia question for you.
we're having such good time with those.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Let's please do that.
Bring it on, baby. 'cause
Okay.
Oh,
we
let
are
me introduce,
people.
by the
Okay,
way.
the funk
Yeah.
hit.
Wait
The
again.
funk hit mashed potato popcorn. That's the name of the song. Mashed potato popcorn
Yes.
is performed by which artist? So I've got just one of these is true. So
Sure.
Parliament, Freddie and the Kinfolk, James Brown, or Wendy and the One Hit Wonders.
Let's chat this one because this may also be a trick. But I'm going with the seemingly obvious one.
So only one of those performers is true. The song is called Mashed Potato Popcorn, and the performers were James Brown, Freddie and the Kinfolk, Parliament, or Wendy and the One Hit Wonders.
Okay.
Only one
So
of those is true.
everybody's typing into their chat boxes their choice. So let's see. We got one James Brown, one Freddie and the etc., one Wendy and the One Hit Wonders, and I think that's
Parliament. James Brown.
Okay, so we have two James Browns, and so we're
No,
all over the map.
no.
Who is? I said James Brown because of popcorn, but
Because of time-honored tradition on your show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Popcorn songs. And this has potatoes in it.
It does. It does. So, what is the actual answer, Wendy? I didn't hear.
The answer is Freddie and the Kinfolk.
Oh.
Freddie and the Kinfolk? Jason Gra.
Yeah.
What do I win? What do I win?
Bragging rights, Jason.
What does that mean?
Do you see the budget of this show? What do you think you win?
Show them the lights. Show them the lights.
I had to get
You win
deep
this.
inside the mind. I got inside the mind of Wendy. I
There
was
you
like,
go.
yeah.
Well, that's
No
you use the
idea.
stimulator to create a current there, but
I-
oh, was it a James Brown tribute though? Can you give me that so I don't feel so stupid? Because obviously mashed potato popcorn,
Maybe it was covered by his band. I don't know. Maybe it was covered.
Well, I should mention everybody, but when I ask people to be on the show, I had them prepare or ask them to prepare either an anecdote or a joke or a trivia question. So thank you to Wendy. Fred, you talk too much. Tell us, how was your year?
Mine is supporting Wendy, but it was good.
Okay. What was?
I have a trivia question for you too.
Oh, you know what? Let me let in one more person because I don't want to run too far behind on this. And this is another fairly well-known person. Speaking of Birdland, someone who's appearing there, and also someone who's going to be on January 2nd, 70 years old, and they're dedicating the Greenwich Village Folk Festival night to her. She is the wonderful and the brilliant songwriter Christine Lavin, who is with us in the Daverhood as we speak. Christine, I'll need you to unmute, and we've got another trivia question coming from my friends from Colorado, Wendy and Fred. So, Fred, please, what is your trivia question first?
Okay, this is 3 clues in the news.
Okay. Let me explain what 3 clues in the news is. Yeah, you have to kind of know the show. Jason, do you know Christine? Christine, do you know Jason? Have you appeared on Bill's?
Do I know Christine? I love Christine.
Yeah, we all.
I know her. I love her, and I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan. I saw him first in Forever Plaid. I've seen it 5 times or 6 times.
You are a plaid junkie. I knew that about you.
Well, that makes up the fabric of this show, Anywho, I'm sorry. So Fred, look, I got to explain though. As part of our weekly trivia quiz, our today yesterday quiz, the question sometimes has to do with something that's currently in the news. So there are 3 words, right, Fred, that are not connected to each other, but are connected to another word that we have to think of. So it could be like blank word or word blank. If I go sweet couch fries, the answer would be potato. Okay. So, Fred, let's have your 3 clues in the news.
Okay. Russian, off, elephant.
Wait, Russian, off. What was the last one?
Elephant.
Elephant. Okay, so here's the deal. It can be like Russian blank or blank Russian, blank. So all these words are not related to each other. They're related to another word that they make you think of. Russian. Off, was it?
Off.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
Are we supposed to write this in the chat?
Yeah, if you can think of it. If you're trying to come up with a word.
I'm so close. I almost got it.
Yeah, I hear it too.
It's so close. It's on the tip of my tongue. Russian off elephant.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Oh, I think I got it. I'm gonna type it in my chat. I think I got it. Hold on. Did I get it? Well, no, don't say if I did. Everybody else, try yours.
I can't think of it.
A silence fell over the room.
Yes, really. Can't think of it.
David, give a timer.
Yeah, I'm going to do a tick, tick, tick just because we don't really. So. We couldn't afford a timer. We blew the budget on these lights.
If we haven't gotten it by now, we're never going to get it.
We're never. It's history. Okay.
Okay. So the answers that people have put down are Putin's telephone call with Biden. Okay, that's very interesting. I know that's cute. Wendy and the One-Hit Wonders. Thank you, Jason Groff. And Mike, I think I'm right. I said white Russian, off-white, and white elephant. Am I wrong on that?
Yep, you're right.
Oh, far out.
Wow.
I got it.
What
do I win?
Wonderful.
Okay, now let's
Wait,
all
what
talk.
was off? I don't understand how off fit into that.
Off-white. Some color. It's off-white.
The color.
The worst game.
Jason, yeah.
I didn't get it either. Off-white. No.
He's the sweetest, nicest human imaginable, and he just insulted every guest that we've had here today.
I'm at a New Year's party, and I'm like, off-white? Really?
Fair enough. So, Christine Lavin.
I met my friend Lisa Shapers, who is a Emmy Award-winning TV director for cartoons. She does a lot of voiceover in cartoons. And my friend Suzanne, who was my best lady in my wedding, Suzanne Blakesley, who is a Forbidden Broadway alum, is the voice of Wanda in The Fairly Odd Parents on TV. And so I'm hanging out with all these people. I used to have a voiceover career, but I don't anymore.
Isn't that the one thing you could have done? Well, isn't that the one thing you could have done this past 2 years? I mean, voiceover would be the
You'd think, wouldn't you? Well, I was the voice of the Lucky Charms leprechaun for 5.5 years. And then when I moved out to LA, I ended up losing it. But it was a great, I did it out here for several years as well. But
Jason.
It was a great.
Jason, please.
Who did you lose the job to? That's what I'm curious about.
Arnold Stang.
Oh, Christy, something with him, like knocking him off. ended up they wanted somebody that was living in New York, and at that point I was doing ragtime out in Los Angeles, so I had to let the job go. And now ragtime closed, but Lucky Charms lives on forever, right?
Yeah. Well, Jason, just please, you got to do the magically. Just say it. Just say the damn thing so I can.
All right,
sleep
you can
tonight.
Venmo me after it. There be 8 magical marshmallow shape. It's magically delicious. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That made my night.
Thank you all so much.
Now, Wendy and Fred, I'm going to have to let you. And they do have. I never remember Graham. Graham, it's a groundhog, right? Yes. Graham is there with you. Guys, I want to wish you certainly, Wendy and Fred, I want to wish you most great good health in the new year. All good things, especially, well, not just Wendy, both of you, because who knows what happens. But what the hell am I saying? I've got to let you go, though, because I got to get in and circle people in and out of the Daverhood. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good to see
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Is Christine going to play anything? Ask Christine.
Well, no, Christina's going to stick around, but we're running so late. Iris, do you want to hang, or do you got to go? I'll let you.
I'm starting to wilt. You know, it's 11 o'clock. I never make it, when the ball drops. I'm always dead asleep, so I'm starting to get tired. But it was fun.
And Iris, please remind people. I'm sorry, where you write for? Business Insight. What is it? It's.
I'm not right now. I'm writing a lot about theater for Business Insider, and also I write for a lot of other publications. I write about the cannabis industry for Forbes, and and.
Nice.
Have you seen Flying Over Sunset?
Have you seen
Flying
the
Over Sunset?
musical?
Have you seen that?
Yeah. Iris, have you seen the Broadway musical Flying Over Sunset?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh.
I haven't seen it yet.
Very interesting. I've seen it 3 times. It's not your typical musical, and it probably won't last. It's at Lincoln Center now.
Yeah.
So if people want to see it, they should see it before February.
Yeah. I've heard about it. It sounds really good.
Okay.
James Levine directed, right?
Sorry?
Yeah, he's the writer and director.
Okay. Iris,
I have to say goodbye. I've got to go back to my party.
Enjoy your party. Thank you, Jason. Great to see you. Please come back to the Daverhood this year again. And most happy and healthy New Year to you and to your husband and your dog.
Jason, I'll see you at Birdland.
Christine, I'm so happy to see you. I'm always happy to see you. You're amazing. And Dave, thanks for having me here. And Iris, I love chatting with you. And cheers to you all. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year to you, Jason.
Hi, Sylvia.
Drinking a potato to you. Bye-bye, Jason. If you can remove yourself, and Iris, I will see you, God willing, soon, and maybe even at the theater sometime this year.
Yeah,
Catch you in a bit.
absolutely.
God
Happy
willing.
New Year.
You too. Bye, Iris.
Bye.
Okay. Now, we have a couple of folk singers and instrumentalists, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, she's got the wine out, ladies and gentlemen. That is Sylvie Simmons, who is, well, at the same time, she spent many years as a rock journalist, interviewing basically every major rock person you can possibly imagine. And now she herself has turned much more musical over the last few years. Please welcome to the Daverhood, along with the great Christine Lavin, Sylvie Simmons. How are you, Sylvie? You drunk? Sylvie, I need you to unmute, please. Please unmute.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, just send her, ask her to unmute, David. You can ask.
I just did. I hit the thing.
Mute.
There you go. How are you, Sylvie? You had a tough couple of years, health-wise, but now you've had a good year, right? I mean, it's been good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually achieved something quite amazing during lockdown in that my hair turned blonde.
Nicely done. It looks gorgeous.
How about that? All by itself, it just turned blonde. So other than that, yeah, it's been a couple of weird years. And of course, we've all had a few weird years right now, or 2.5 weird years. But things are good. Still playing my ukulele, but I've been unfaithful to it for the past week because I've got a tenor guitar.
Ooh. Wait, what is a tenor guitar? I'm sorry, it's a guitar.
It's a guitar with 4 strings, and I've been taking 2 off of every guitar I have, but now this is an official one. Would you like me to fetch it and hold it up?
If you wouldn't mind. And I promise Christine will get a chance to hear you play and sing and stuff like that.
Don't worry.
Great.
So you're going to see my butt. I did cover it, so we're okay. I'll be back in a second.
And now we get to talk to Christine. Christine, how are you doing? How does it feel to be almost the big 7-0?
Oh, well, the weird thing is that my father died at 69, and I think anyone who outlives a parent always feels a little odd about that because it's somebody you always looked up to as a child.
Wow.
So but my mom lived to be 99. So, oh, good. Let's see this tenor guitar. I played one of these on one of my recordings. It sounds lovely.
It's so lovely, and if you put it on the 5th fret, it's a ukulele. So really a loud ukulele. It's lovely, It's lovely. It's just beautiful sound.
Sing a song.
On this, do you want me to do it on this?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, or you can do a uke. That's up to you.
When you asked me to do a song, I thought I won't do one of my songs. I'll do a song that I covered because we've been having so much rain out here. We've been having this total atmospheric. Oops.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just the paper flew off. Right? It's a kind of uke.
No, it's a high tenor guitar. It's a soprano guitar. You pluck one. Yeah.
They're going to get me fancy uke back on, and so this is one that everybody will know. It doesn't have to be my song.
But where do you live? Where do you live?
I'm in San Francisco. I'm from London, but I've been living out here for ages now. I keep trying to escape, and it keeps me around. And right now, it's the COVID and the atmospheric rivers that have been stopping me. So you want me to do a short song?
Short song, if you don't mind. Please, Sylvie Simmons.
Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain, telling me just what a fool I've been. Wish that it would go and let me cry in vain, and let me be alone again. The only boy I ever loved is gone away, looking for a brand new start. Little did he know that when he left that day, the mother bleeper took my heart. Ring, won't you tell me, does that seem fair? For him to steal my heart away when he don't care. I can't love another when my heart's somewhere far away. Do 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 do. Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain, telling me just what a fool I've been. Wish that it would go and let me cry in vain. Don't let me be alone again. Rain, won't you tell him I love him so? Please tell the sun to set his heart aglow, and rain in his heart until the love in him starts to grow. Do 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 do. Oh, listen to the falling rain, telling me just what a fool I've been. Wish that it would go and let me cry in vain, and let me be alone again. Oh, listen to the falling rain, pitter patter, pitter patter. Oh, 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 listen to the falling rain. Thank you.
That song originally.
Oh, who did it originally? I can't remember. I just remember learning it as a little girl, and just sort of getting onto it. Was it Ricky thingy? What was his last name?
Oh, for some reason I think Johnny Tillotson.
No,
it make any sense.
It was a Ricky.
Ricky Nelson.
Yes, thank you. We got it between us. I remember Ricky Nelson's version, and it would just be so sad, so I just changed the gender.
And it's funny because it made me think of
for uke because it's so simple and it's so pretty, and Are you the first one to play it on uke?
I don't know. I think that uke players tend to play everything on earth, so I know I wouldn't surprise them. Have you ever seen the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain?
No.
Oh, they've done the theme from the movie Shaft and everything on uke.
Wow.
Everyone else has got to it, but I was doing it in the studio when we were recording live to tape on my first album, and the tape machine broke down. And so for some reason, I just started singing that little song, and I think I drove everybody mad enough to fix the tape and get me to sing something else.
No, and that was like, it reminded me, almost like an Everly Brothers song. And of course, one of Christine Lavin's most beloved songs is one she did, "Whenever I Want You, All I've Got to Dream."
Dream.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that on the uke all the time. We should sing a duet.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have
Unfortunately,
the
we can't do
technology.
it on Zoom.
Right.
It's always a beat behind.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's always odd. It's odd doing anything on Zoom, but it's still lovely to see you guys.
Well, Sylvie, let me ask you before I let you go, because we've got this panoply of people coming. You're welcome to stay, but I've got to give like 5 minutes to everybody. You got the new album out, which is called Blue on Blue. It's lovely.
Yeah,
You also,
product placement. I did it earlier.
so if you want to hear more of Sylvie Simmons, get the album. Also, she co-wrote. Just tell me a little anecdote, because you apparently co-wrote or ghost wrote, whatever you did with Debbie Harry, the Face It book, her bio.
We wrote that. Yep. And the first book I ever wrote was a co-write with a friend who passed away this year, sadly. We wrote the first ever book on Motley Crue.
Oh my gosh!
The middle side. I've got the zips on the side of my shirt there.
And also, if you need the book on Leonard Cohen, Sylvie Simmons wrote it. So, but tell me a Debbie Harry anecdote or something fun about working, because you had to work with her to help write the book.
Yeah, an anecdote. She's not very anecdotal, I have to say.
Okay.
She's I think what was so interesting about her is that she was a person who wanted to do a memoir who didn't want to do a memoir, in the sense that I think she really was quite happy to be private, really. But then I guess once you decide to take the jump and do that, I'm really glad that she stuck with it and got it out, and it was all done and everything. And great stories. I mean, the stories from New York in the 70s were just amazing. And it was so interesting because she was really the only kind of woman. Whenever she was on the road with them, it would be all these boy bands. They'd be opening up for boy bands. And there she was, just getting on with it and getting down to business.
Which is what we're doing here on the Dave's Gone By Daverhood New Year's special with the delightful Sylvie Simmons, the wonderful Christine Lavin. Sylvie, do you want to stay, or do you have to scoot, or what's your schedule?
I want to leave, but with a brilliant Christmas joke, because I do not have even any New Year's jokes. But this is one I've known forever and I really like. And it was, have you heard about the dyslexic bluesman who got to the crossroads? When he got to the crossroads. I'm not telling it very well. I'm Zoom nervous. Okay. As a bluesman goes to the crossroads, he's dyslexic. What happened? He sold his soul to Santa. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to stick around because I want to hear some playing, but then I'll go and get food because I'm starving.
Well, thank you, Sylvie Simmons. More music, more success, more writing for you in 2022. And good health.
Do you want me to do a song?
Yes, please. I'd like to stay and listen to a song before.
I'm going to bring somebody else in, but you could sing the song, please. Yeah.
No, but I want to sing it before Sylvia leaves.
Yeah, exactly. No, start it, please.
All right. This is one I co-wrote with Dave Van Ronk, but I co-wrote it this year, and Dave Van Ronk died in 2002, but he said the chorus to me in 1977. The first verse, it's all true. Here we go. We were in the clutches of love for the very first time. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was between ecstatic and sublime. When, without a warning, he jumped out of bed and he said, to be honest, I'm so glad this happened. Now I know that I love her. What? I wished I was dead. Honesty can be the cruelest game. of all. Honesty can hit you in the head like a knuckleball. Honesty can be the cruelest game. Don't be surprised when they hurt you to the bone and then feel self-righteous when they apologize. That's the part that Van Ronk wrote. They dated for 4 years. She was a chef, he was a teacher. Both waited for their wedding night, 'cause both listened to the preacher. When the deed was done, the new husband said, to be honest, I wish I knew. If that's all it was, I would never have married you. What? Honesty can be the cruelest game of all. Honesty can hit you in the head like a knuckleball. Honesty can be the cruelest game. Are you surprised? Hurt someone to the bone and then feel self-righteous when they apologize. Both these stories really happened. Both of them are true. I wouldn't waste your time making stuff up and then tossing it back to you. In both stories, men were the bad guys. Is that always the case? I asked men friends, while in the clutches of love, what's the worst thing you've ever heard? Face to face. Huh? Come on, guys. Out with it, out with it, out with it. I'm still waiting. The men I asked all refused to admit while in the clutches of love they've ever felt used, abused, or even confused. I don't believe them, but that's okay. Next time you hear the dreaded honey, we have to talk. Now you know what to do. Walk away, 'cause honesty can be the cruelest game of all. Honesty can hit you in the head like a 10-pound knuckleball. Honesty can be the cruelest game. Are you surprised when they hurt you to the bone and then feel self-righteous when they apologize? I'm sorry, I was just being honest.
Christine Lavin, honestly delightful here
Yeah,
in.
but Dave, what's the worst thing you've ever heard in the clutches of love?
My wife is 4 feet away from me. Not going to answer that one.
Okay. Well, what about our new friend over here?
Well,
Did he
this is
answer?
our in the clutches of the Daverhood is like, oh, Sylvie Simmons, I know you have to go. Happy New Year almost to you.
You. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Come to Birdland when you come to New York. You'll love Birdland.
Bye, Sylvie. Okay, I'm gonna get her out. And then Jeff Goodman, my good friend who was on Two on the Aisle for many years, a theater review program. And then he's now out very happily living in Las Vegas. Jeff, let me introduce you to the wonderful Christine Lavin. Christine Lavin, Jeff Goodman. Jeff, how are you? Oh, unmute. Unmute.
There we go.
There we go. How are you, Jeff? How this has been a pretty good year for you, hasn't it? All things considered. Really?
Yeah,
What?
2021 kind of. I mean, I'm enjoying Las Vegas, but the rest of the year kind of sucked.
Well, the usual. But you have you were living in New York. You have all these things, and your house burned. I mean, we've been through everything with you. Although you still look great, you kept the way. Christine, you don't know. You've never met Jeff. Jeff was, what did you top out? About 450 at your highest weight?
550.
How did you lose it?
I had a gastric bypass, and then I followed the doctor's instruction and changed everything that I eat. I ate protein first and vegetables second, keep carbs and sugars to a minimum.
And you've been
and
doing
by the way,
yeah.
Once in the clutches of love, someone said, "What's your name again?"
No.
Really?
Really?
That's the first honest answer I've gotten from a man. Thank you. What's your name again?
Well, that was it sort of answered in that old Liz Phair song where, in that song where she opens in one of the songs in Exile in Guyville, where the idea is that she can do the do while watching TV at the same time. So it was so she can watch the Tonight Show while the guy does his business behind her. So anywho,
Wasn't that also an episode of Seinfeld?
I hope not.
There was a sandwich involved.
Wait, no, Sex in the City. There was one.
Oh, maybe.
Curious.
There was a sandwich. It was like it was a trio of having sex and a sandwich and television or something like that.
I think it was Leave It to Beaver, but it was a very different Beaver.
How long have you been in Las Vegas?
Just about a year now.
Oh, so you're new there. Oh, because
Yeah.
it was Stanley Snadowski lived there for many years. He was co-owner of the Bottom Line, the nightclub in New York.
Oh, yeah, I love it out here.
Yeah,
Jeff was,
you're supposed to have 300,000 people out there tonight with a big outdoor.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Well, it's all outdoors, so it's supposedly safe. But I'm far away from the strip.
Smart. Now, Jeff, you didn't get COVID. You've knocked wood so far. You're boosted. You're vaxxed, right?
Yep.
So what? I mean, you've got casinos, obviously. What else is there to do? There isn't that much theater in Vegas. What do you do?
There's not. I saw I saw a couple of terrible community theater productions. They were awful.
Oh, well, share.
I mean,
so what was the worst? What was the worst show you saw this year in Las Vegas?
The worst show I think was a geriatric Guys and Dolls.
Oh no!
Where
no.
Adelaide had to be like 80. And it was awful. And was it Big Jerry? Who's the guy
Big
from
Julie.
Chicago?
Big
Julie was a woman.
Okay, well, that you're going to see that all over the place now. That's Julie with an IE now, because I can just sue me, put what? I just can't imagine.
They were definitely not saying take away your mic. It's like no, keep my mic, because if it hits less than about 55 degrees, they're wearing that thing. I'm telling you, once it goes under 60, out come the puffy coats and the parkas.
I'm going to let in, just so we're on time. Don't go away, Jeff, but I do want to let in one more guest. He is, Christine, you'll appreciate this. He is a musician, a klezmer kind of musician, also a jazz musician. His name is Moshe Denberg, and Moshe is joining us. He has an album out this past year, a year or two ago, called The Road Never Traveled, with the band Simis, which is kind of a neat thing. Moshe, welcome to the Daverhood on this New Year's Eve. Remember to unmute, so make sure you unmute.
Shalom, Dave.
Shalom, Moshe. You got your New Year's hat.
I have a New Year's hat.
Yeah.
A little hat. And Dave,
yes,
if you'd like, I have an ode for 2021 to sing for you.
Yeah, well, this last year was like an odor. So please give us an ode. Oh, Joyce is giving me my hat.